So I believe that is once again demonstrates China, Bangladesh will stand together. So that is something I want to brief you before I present my statement. So I believe this morning session will conduct in two sessions. One is my statement to brief you latest development, China-Bangladesh relations, then followed by question and answers. So the first one, I would like to thank the DCAP for its kind invitation. This is actually my second time to be invited to the DCAP talk. Over the past year, both China and Bangladesh are confronted with historical opportunities and significant changes in external environment. However, the defining features of our bilateral relationship, mutual respect and equality, remain unchanged. The friendship basis between our two peoples remains unchanged, and the determination of our two governments and peoples to further promote bilateral relationship also remain unchanged. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you the latest development in our bilateral relations. In March, Honorable Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus chose China as a destination for his first bilateral visit. In Beijing, Chinese President Xi Jinping and met with Chief Advisor Professor Yunus. The two leaders reached a number of important understandings and consensus, providing strategic guidance for the long-term development of bilateral relations. Just a few days ago, our Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with Foreign Advisor Mr. Mohammad Tawhid Hussein in Kuala Lumpur, further discussed our bilateral cooperation. Recently, high-level delegations of Bangladesh Nationalist Party and Jamaat Islami have visited China separately with great success, opening a new chapter for bilateral party-to-party exchanges. As stated by Honorable Foreign Advisor, developing friendly cooperation with China is a consensus among the Bangladesh people. And my understanding is, for the political parties, they may have different views related to the domestic politics, but they have the same view in terms of China-Bangladesh relations. So all the major political parties are supportive of deepening China-Bangladesh cooperation. So that is my impression and my understanding. China has extended zero tariff treatment on 100% taxable items to Bangladesh until the end of 2028. In the first quarter of this year, Chinese investment in Bangladesh surged by 370%. Since last August, nearly 20 Chinese companies have signed investment agreements with Bangladesh partners, with a total intended investment commitment exceeding $400 million. China has become the largest sources of FDI in Bangladesh side since the interim government took office. In May, China's Commerce Minister, Mr. Wang Wentao, led a delegation of over 150 Chinese enterprises to Bangladesh, which is the largest delegation ever that has visited Bangladesh. And I just learned just a few days ago, the chairman of BIDA, Mr. Asik Chaudhry, also had a very successful business forum in Shanghai. More than 130 plus 20 Bangladesh companies attended. And you maybe read reports that got renewed commitment from Chinese enterprises and companies to invest in Bangladesh. So that is the confidence Chinese companies have in Bangladesh and in Bangladesh people. Also in May, fresh mangoes from Bangladesh entered the Chinese market. No matter what domestic changes taking place in Bangladesh, China will remain committed to strengthening bilateral trade and investment cooperation with Bangladesh, and we will continue to support Bangladesh in its efforts towards sustainable development and improving people's livelihood. In March, the first group of Bangladesh patients, doctors, and travel agencies successfully visited China. The Chinese embassies in Dhaka organized a Bangladesh media delegation to Yunnan province of China for interview and coverage. The Chinese embassy has introduced special facilitation measures for medical treatment with visas to China in May with green channel services and a streamlined process. In April, the first ever large-scale drone performance in Bangladesh history was held. 2,500 Chinese drones lit up the night over Dhaka, creating a breathtaking spectacle and leaving the audience in excitement. Recently, a set of robotic rehabilitation equipment worth $1.5 million was officially put into operation under the facilitation of Chinese experts. Last week, at the request of the interim government of Bangladesh, the Chinese government dispatched an emergency medical team of 5 burn specialist doctors and nurses to Dhaka to provide medical treatment to the injured in the heartbreaking aircraft crash. At present, there are 68 flights operating weekly, which transport more than 13,000 passengers. On the education front, China has been expanding its scholarship opportunities for Bangladesh students on a yearly basis. Around 15,000 Bangladesh students are receiving higher education in China. China commends Bangladesh for its contribution to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goal and UN peacekeeping efforts. We congratulate Bangladesh on the adoption of the resolution Human Rights and Climate Change at the United Nations Human Rights Council and the adoption of the resolution follow-up to the Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace at the United Nations General Assembly for 27 consecutive years. The China-Bangladesh-Pakistan Trilateral Vice Foreign Minister or Foreign Secretary meeting was successfully held in Kunming on 19 June. China looks forward to make joint efforts with Bangladesh and Pakistan to solidly advance the trilateral cooperation and achieve tangible results. The Central Conference on Work related to neighboring countries was held in Beijing this April. President Xi Jinping stressed that China's diplomacy will focus on building a community with a shared future with neighboring countries, fostering an amicable, secure, and prosperous neighborhood. China has always placed Bangladesh in a leading position in its neighborhood diplomacy, supported Bangladesh in safeguarding its national sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity and opposing external interference, while exploring a development path suited to its national conditions. China appreciates Bangladesh's commitment to the One China principle and its continued firm support on issues concerning China's core interests and major concerns. Bangladesh now is undergoing a pivotal phase of reform and development. China supports the interim government of Bangladesh in its governance and back the efforts of Bangladesh to hold the general election smoothly and successfully and to pursue a development path that suits its national conditions. China is willing to always be a trustworthy good friend, good neighbor, and a good partner of Bangladesh. Since the Trump administration took office in the U.S., the U.S. has rolled out a series of unilateral tariffs, including so-called reciprocal tariffs, a textbook case of trade bullying. These measures blatantly violate WTO rules, disrupt global industrial and supply chains, and hinder world economic recovery. They are irresponsible, unpopular, and unsustainable. Worst still, the U.S. is now weaponizing tariff to strong-arm others into so-called reciprocal tariff negotiations. This is nothing but hegemonical politics and unilateral bullying disguised as reciprocity. We note that Bangladesh and the U.S. are intensifying tariff talks, those talks which have drawn widespread attention, concern Bangladesh's sovereignty and economic future. The U.S. imposed a 35% tariff on Bangladesh, one of the least developing countries, which is neither reasonable nor ethical. We respect Bangladesh's right to resolve trade disputes with the U.S. through equal dialogue and support it in defending its legitimate interest. We support Bangladesh in upholding WTO rules and the multilateral trading system, and in maintaining normal trade and exchanges with China. China stands ready to strengthen solidarity and coordination with Bangladesh to jointly resist unilateral bullying and defend global fairness and justice. In recent years, the Chinese embassy has organized multiple visits to China for Bangladesh journalists. Many of the participants are members of the DCUP. Over the past 2 years, the Chinese embassy has organized 6 media delegations with 94 journalists to visit China. These visits are warmly welcomed by our journalist friends. To help friends from the media better understand China, we will continue these efforts in building more bridges and connections. So once again, I'd like to express my gratitude to all the journalist friends for your care and support for China-Bangladesh relations, as well as your understanding and cooperation with Chinese embassy. So thank you all of you for present with us.
Thank you, Excellency. Now we have around 30 minutes for question and answer session. Please raise your hand, and can you go one by one, or you can take 3 together?
What's your suggestion?
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. We'll take 3 questions together. Ishaq Jahan. Okay. Yes. Please go ahead.
My name is Ishaq Jahan. I work for BBC News. You just told about China, Bangladesh, and Pakistan Trilateral summit. My question is, what is the main focus of this? And any other country have any concern about this type of summit?
Shahid Bhai.
You have already mentioned about the U.S. tariffs imposed on Bangladesh, that is 35%. Some general statements on cooperation against this tariff. Do you consider any specific measures? First of August, we are expecting that Bangladesh will make an arrangement with the U.S. authorities. So, is there any specific plan from China for maintaining supplies for industries here in Bangladesh?
Mr. Imran Alam, our former president.
So, during our chief advisor visit to Beijing, Bangladesh has invited China to take initiative on the ISTA project. What is the development in this area?
Yes. Thank you very much for the questions. So let's come to first about the trilateral cooperation, China, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. Actually, this initiative is from China in consultation with Bangladesh and Pakistan. The purpose is to discuss the cooperation between these three countries with a view to invigorate the regional cooperation in South Asia. We all know it has been stagnant in the last 10 years. And I believe the meeting itself is very successive and very pragmatic. And there's a full consensus reached for the trilateral senior official the meeting. The first one is the principles for the trilateral cooperation. So the principles will be the good neighborliness and friendship, equality and mutual trust, openness and inclusiveness, shared development and mutual benefit. So that is the guiding principles for trilateral cooperation. And the focus will be economic development and improvement of livelihood of the three peoples. So that is the focus. The second achievement of consensus is the senior official meeting chart out 12 areas for pragmatic cooperation, including collectivity, infrastructure, investment, trade, environmental protection, water resources management, marine cooperation, youth, education, so forth. Altogether 12 areas. And the third important consensus achievement is there's a general consensus that working group will be set up at DG level to discuss the concrete cooperation programs or projects. And the fourth consensus reached is the trilateral cooperation will be based on real multilateralism and open regionalism. So this cooperation is not directed against any third party. And the purpose is to improve livelihood of the three countries. And we expect it also benefit the people in the region. So that is a general, the consensus achievements by the trilateral cooperation. So far, from my understanding, after the meeting, China also briefed to all the diplomats of the South Asian countries about achievements and the purpose of the meeting. So far, from my understanding, no sort of concern expressed by regional countries. And yes, that is the first questions. And the second one is the specific suggestions to the tariff talks between Bangladesh and the U.S. And I believe it's the government of Bangladesh. I believe they have prepared for the talk with U.S. for this, so-called reciprocal tariff. Already some measure taken by Bangladesh side in terms of their offer to the U.S. side. So I'm not about to comment since I'm the foreign diplomats. But the thing is, if you ask for specific suggestions from China side, our position is we oppose the so-called reciprocal tariff from outset. We consider it a unilateral action of hegemonism. It is not producive to the world trade. It's not good. It's undermine WTO rule. It undermine international trade order. and is not bring any goods to domestic consumers of U.S. It can only bring, more sort of the heightened prices to U.S. So our approach is we retaliate. We also retaliate based on what the tariff U.S. imposed on China. We demonstrate our ability and resolve to defend our own interest. And secondly, in terms of China, what we can do to help Bangladesh. Recently, I have talked with quite a lot of NGOs and the chairman of association. My impression is they said it's impossible for Bangladesh to decouple from China, especially in textile garment. We are fully integrated in the supply and production chain. And in view of the current situation, there is general sort of perception Bangladesh needs to diversify its efforts, as for the export is concerned, and to uplift its export and to have a more powerful, the economic competitiveness. So they also need China help. So that current situation only bring more cooperation chances for China to help to uplift economic competitiveness and to have set up industrial basis for Bangladesh so as you can have your own competitive edge in this changed situation. And the third question is regarding the Tista River. You may be aware that during the visit, the intergovernment already invite China companies' involvement in the building these projects. It's already written in the joint press release after the visit. So now we are working very closely with relevant agencies of Bangladesh. We are waiting for Bangladesh to provide from official channel for Chinese support in this project. So now we are working very closely with Bangladesh authorities on this. So China, our position is very clear. If Bangladesh want China help, we are ready. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'll get back to you, Murshid. Murshid, can you be ready?
Thank you, Mr. President, Excellency. My question is related to another South Asian geopolitics issues. We observe nowadays that is the drastically big move from the USA to develop relationship with Myanmar Junta government. Previously, we know Junta is supported by the Chinese government. Now we see after the Trump administration, the relation between the Junta and Trump is warming. Already 2 sanctions have been withdrawn against the Junta chief. So I think this is another move to the dropping Arakanani project by US. So what will be the shape, if you will, or the impact to the South Asian geopolitics, basically the relationship between China, Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan in this region, and as well as what will be the impact of the Rohingya issues on this move USA to the Junta's government? Thank you.
Mr. Murshid Hassan, and then Mr. Nizmi.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Excellency, for sharing your thoughts in your honest speech. So my specific question on the US tariff is sort of, do you think this is to contain China in the global market, as from the Vietnam to Bangladesh, if you look at the geopolitics, and the raw material sources, China is the one. And in Vietnam, China has relocated. It's one of the major industries. The finished product goes to the USA. It's to contain China. That's my first part of the question. The second part of the question, seen in the last 15 years, this is the first year where it doesn't matter who in the government is, from the political parties, everybody is going to China, visit China. Is it a new realization from the CPC or from the Chinese government to enroll with all the political parties which haven't been seen or watched, neither observed from 2009 to 2024?
Thank you for your excellency. My question is, have you got any request from Bangladesh to cooperate the recent jet crash investigation? And another question is, China is already engaged in creating a congenial atmosphere for return of Rohingyas from Bangladesh. Is there any progress in the process? Thank you.
So actually, the first question and the third question are almost interrelated regarding Rohingya and the situation in Myanmar. But you two very big questions about regional repercussion and consequences by the specific move taken by U.S. I do notice the reports of the lift of sanction on the Myanmar government. I want to say, actually, Myanmar is an independent country. It has its own, the problem to solve. I want to stress, at this moment, sanction is not the way out. This military government of Myanmar has been under sanctions, embargoes, since 1980s. So they have experienced more than 30 or even 40 years of sanction embargoes. So I don't believe sanction or embargo is well. We can help to solve their issue. So China policies, we do have a lot of engagement with this government. We advise them, to be careful of all the issues internally, and try to talk with the different political factions of Myanmar, and to solve it through consultations. So that is the role China play. We want to bring them together, sit down to solve it. Only talk and solve. Only talk and the negotiations is the way out. So that is our policy. I also hope, the move by U.S. means they want more engagement with Myanmar government. They try to talk up and engage more with Myanmar. So I hope it will be helpful. And as for Rohingya issue, we all understand this issue has been there since 2017. So 8 years passed, but we see the more influx of Rohingyas to Bangladesh, and Bangladesh has been sacrificed so much for sheltering more than 1 million Rohingyas. So from day one, China's position is very persistent and steady. We want and we wish to help Bangladesh and Myanmar to talk, to have repatriation arrangement. So I also believe, China also believe, repatriation is the only way out. So far, my understanding is interim government of Bangladesh still want to repatriate. They also come out some proposals for repatriation arrangement. And what China we are playing is, actually we are two-pronged strategy. One is the engagement between Bangladesh and Myanmar. We encourage, if possible, there will be a trilateral arrangement, China, Bangladesh, Myanmar. We do have this mechanism, so we are continue to have this engagement, to have a bilateral understanding of the arrangement. And why the other hand, we all understand the current situation in Rakhine states, and the conflict is still carrying on. The fighting is still carrying on. So now is not the right time for repatriation, since the security and safety cannot be ensured for these potential returnees. So our policy is we also work to have a ceasefire arrangement between Myanmar government and Arakan Army. So China has been trying since October 2023, the time, the breakout of internal fighting. So China has made a couple of rounds of efforts. We already bring them together, talk for a few rounds, but unfortunately so far, we haven't seen the ceasefire taking place on the ground. So China will continue to play our role to bring them together to have a ceasefire arrangement. But at the same time, China alone cannot solve all the problems. We need international efforts. We need support of ASEAN countries. We need support of the other stakeholders, including United Nations. So they all work together to this purpose. But to be very frank, not all the stakeholders want repatriate. Not everyone wants repatriation. So now I appeal that for the common sort of, our goal to solve this problem, we need to create right conditions for their safe return or voluntary return to Rakhine states. So let's work together for this purpose. Even though now it's difficult, I see a lot of difficulty rising, but China will not give up. We'll continue our efforts. We're also looking forward. China efforts will be supported by the other stakeholders. So that is a joint responsibility by all the stakeholders. Thank you. And yes, about the question of China, content China, let's answer from another perspective. Whether China can be content, whether China can be sort of, as you say, our influence will be pushed back by some sort of agreements. I don't believe so. China already, we are the second largest economy in the world. We are the biggest trading partners, more than 100 countries in the world. And China plays a very positive role in the international peace and stability. And we are one of the P5. We undertaken international responsibility for retaining international order and international fairness and justice. So come what may, China will do whatever we can to be a force in the world which are supportive of stability, order, and fairness. And the other question you raised about political parties visit to China. We already received two very senior visits from BNP and Jamaat Islami. As you said, our Communist Party of China, we do have tradition of friendly exchanges and cooperation with all major political parties. But to be very frank, in the last 10 years, we all the reason. So our interaction with BNP, Jamaat Islami was hindered, was prevented. But now we consider it's time to reestablish our tradition. And they also want to have, renew this sort of contacts and visits with Chinese Communist Party. So I see there be strong desire from both sides to continue our cooperation. And I see during their visit, they have a lot of consensus with the Chinese leaders and Chinese Communist Party that, in view of current situation, there's a lot China can do together in terms of party-to-party cooperation to contribute the better future for China and Bangladesh. Thank you.
I think one more question left, whether China received any request from, whether Bangladesh received any request from China regarding investigation.
You mean the incident? I see. Yes, China will help to investigate the cause of the incident And I learned there'll be the visit of Chinese experts, technicians, to help the bunker site to find what behind the incident. So China will provide all the support, assistance in this regard. So that is also China's view. We need to have a very comprehensive and impartial investigation into causes of this incident. Thank you.
We'll take 4 questions together. First, Mr. Rahidez from the Bilateral.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you. This is Rahid from Guatemala. As you mentioned that the 50th anniversary is marked by one of the flagship programs, that is the medical support from China for the Bangladeshi delegation in Kunming. And you also mentioned about the green channel services for the visa. So my precise question is that for last 3 months, how many Bangladeshi patients went to Kunming for get their treatment? That is the first one. And regarding the visa, whether you have any statistics, if I compare to 1 year back, what is the number visa that has been provided from the Chinese embassy in last 1 year? So I have a few supplementary questions. Regarding visa, my colleague asked you whether there is a concrete proposal from Bangladesh. So for my information is concerned that very recently Bangladesh approached China for a financial support for the Tista mega project, and that is around 50 million or something like that. Can you shed light on this? And regards to the Trilateral initiative, for my clarification, you mentioned that you also briefed all the development in South Asia.
Yes.
Whether that is happening in Dhaka or Beijing. That is one part. And another part is this, you are talking this Trilateral initiative is enhancing regional cooperation in South Asia. If that is so, whether you invited South Asian countries, for example, precisely like Sri Lanka and Nepal, to onboard in this process. That is the second. And the last one is that whether you are going to hold any meeting in the coming days in Islamabad. And another supplement is that in last 10 years you are not allowed, or you are being hindered for engaging with other political parties like BNP and Jamaat. So who stopped it, or what is the approach that blocked you not to engage with all the spectrums of political parties in Bangladesh? Thank you.
Okay, I think
There's a lot of questions.
So
Yeah.
you first answer those questions.
Yes. Too many. Otherwise, I will forget. As you may aware that we do have a lot of requests for treatment in China, and China will provide from embassy will provide all the facilitations, and we used to designate 5 hospitals in Kunming. They are open for the patients of Bangladesh, but now all the hospitals in China are open for treatment of the Bangladesh patients. So there's no restriction, whether in Kunming, in Guangzhou, whatever. As long as these patients can get the permit from Chinese hospital that they are willing to receive them, to take care of them, we'll provide the visa to them. So now we have a lot of requests. I cannot give you exact figure by now. Every month, around 50 or 40 or 50 visas be issued.
For medical?
Yes, for medical. It's not a large number, but I see there's a growing demand for it. So we are working on it, and the information is early next month. We'll have a promotion expo in Dhaka. So there'll be a lot of Chinese private hospitals come over to Dhaka to have a medical tourism promotion exhibition in Dhaka. So there'll be strong also desire from Chinese hospital. They want to have more Bangladeshi patients to be treated in China. So definitely that's one priority area we want to promote. We want more healthcare cooperation. We want to have more Bangladeshi patients choose China as the place for treatment. And the second one for the Tista. definitely we are winning. But I can tell you, so far we haven't got application from official channel. So we know we have talked with a lot of agencies, stakeholders from Bangladesh, but so far not received from official channel. So, as for the trilateral cooperation, we briefed the diplomats from South Asian countries in Beijing. There's the response is very encouraging. They appreciate the positive role played by the trilateral cooperation. I also got some suggestion that some other South Asian countries want to part of it. So that is my also suggestions. Why not? Our trilateral cooperation is not end of game. We could also extend to some other South Asian countries as long as they want to be part of ours. So it is also in our cooperation of the extension of the trilateral cooperation into more involvement of South Asian countries. But we need some discussion. We need some talk or to the modality, how they are being involved. So we are, as the follow-up, we're discussing with Bangladesh, Pakistan for follow-up. So as long as got some the decision will proceed upon the consensus by the three parties. Thank you.
May you please name the countries that express their intent for joining the trilateral things?
What is the Indian response? You have briefed the South Asian countries. What was the Indian response? Whether India willing to take on board India, or India has accepted or refused?
At this particular point, I'm not in a position to pinpoint any specific response from any specific countries. But my information is they all demonstrate their appreciation, support for this trilateral cooperation. So that is our response, or their response to us. Thank you. Yes.
I think the political question. Who actually did in that?
I believe we all understand what's the situation in the last the few years. So it's not up to come to the specific. You do understand the situation we're facing. Thank you.
I'll get back to you. I'm going to have Monty. And then and Jumur Bari. I'll get back to you. The 5 minutes. Okay.
Thank you so much. Actually, as you all know, China is a country who has increased the relationship day by day, 1971 to 2025. Sorry, 2025. Okay, 50 years.
Yeah, 50 years anniversary. Yeah.
Which the effort of Chinese side and of course Bangladesh side, both sides focus was on the trade and investment. That is the priority of both countries. Considering the efforts and commitment of Chinese side, and also considering the current situation in Bangladesh, what would be the Chinese additional efforts to ensuring food safety in Bangladesh in upcoming days? As you know, that due to the condition, people of Bangladesh are concerned about the food security, and flood and other disasters also affecting our agricultural sector, and tension with the countries also can be broke down our supply chain of food. In this regard, what would be the specific and additional support in upcoming days from the Chinese side for the Bangladeshi people?
Okay, Nafiza Dullah, please, very briefly, we have 10 minutes left. Okay.
Excellency, good afternoon. I have two questions. One is there any possibility of our chief advisor going to China again? We hear some rumor somewhere. And you said that previously that China Power maybe they're doing a MOU with government to Tisa River for river management.
Yeah.
Is there any update about the MOU? Is there working or just sign it? Thank you.
Okay.
His Excellency, thank you. You already mentioned you don't interfere any internal politics in Bangladesh or any other country. But right now there is a rumor of national government, and you also expecting a free and fair election in our country. So do you think Bangladesh is on the way to the election, and what will be your condition about the national government if they come?
Okay, Boshiwai, then we'll wrap up. We have only 8 minutes.
Let's see, my name is Bashir Ahmed, I work for the Bangladesh. As you heard, the trade negotiation between Bangladesh and USA, the China factor is heavily influencing the negotiation. And USA is mounting pressure on Bangladesh to reduce the defense purchases from China. How do you look at this situation? My second part of my question is, during the visit of our chief advisor to China, Bangladesh has proposed to purchase 16 J-10C multiple fighter jet from China. Is there any development on this issue? Thank you so much.
Can you take 2 more questions?
Okay.
Excellency, my question is about recently Major Gate Secretary General of BNP made a comment about the ultra-right force becoming influential in Bangladesh. Do you have any comment about it? And second one would be about the defense cooperation between Bangladesh and China. What's the future of defense cooperation? Is it increasing day by day, especially after 5th August?
Good morning, Excellency. Actually, part of my question was asked by Goodbody. I just want to have some clarification. Not actually clarification, it's your understanding, because you are doing series of meetings with our government representative, BNP, Jamaat, and all other parties, NCP, and all other parties. So there is a rumor, or there is a confusion among the people, and lots of confusion, that whether the election will be held on the right side or not. So what is your understanding? We'll meet you soon.
Okay, Masud Kulibhai, please.
My name is Masudri. I work for Daily Juganto. Excellency, I just supplementing the military question that you just mentioned that investigation must be impartial. What does it mean actually? And can you elaborate that? And my curiosity about that, there are discussion about the quality of the Chinese jet, because immediately after the crash, F-7 aircraft, that initial response from the ISPR that was a mechanical fault. So this is the question, what you will actually respond.
Okay. So as for the food security issue, definitely it is on the very high priority list of China-bound relations. China is one of the most populous countries in the world. We have 1.4 billion population. So how to feed this huge amount of people, always the highest priority for Chinese leaders. So I do a lot to ensure, we're able to supply with them enough food. And I believe it's also the high priority for leader of Bangladesh, no matter it's interim government or elected government. You have to do to ensure, their safety. So that is something China are working together with Bangladesh. Now we do have some working group between 2 agriculture ministers. So I believe in the second half of this year, there will be some meeting to discuss in which way China can help in Bangladesh. And we also do our share to help, as you mentioned, from as I mentioned, from May this year, China already opened market for fresh mango, and we are working on import of jackfruit and guava. So I expect by next year, the jackfruit and guava can also be exported to China. And China also helping Bangladesh to improve the quality of seeds. So that is also high in our the list of cooperation. I see great potential. Aside from this, we can also have the agriculture technique cooperation and how to use the modern technology like AR in the agriculture sectors. That's something we are working with Bangladesh side. And we also have some trilateral cooperation with some United Nations agencies like FAO or World Food Program. We are talking about some trilateral. So China, Bangladesh, United Nations. So work together on it. So as long as China can do, we'll do our share to help Bangladesh ensure the food security. And as for your other questions, whether the possible that another visit of chief advisor, but so far I haven't got the indication from Bangladesh side. So that is the current situation. And about the China Power, I do learn China Power is working with the Ministry of Water Resources on it. But I can see, it is some the private sectors or the companies, they are working plan with Bangladesh side. It is not G2G cooperation. So I do learn some development, but I'm not sure the real progress of this one. But whatever, if can be good for Bangladesh, definitely we wish not the support either from Chinese government or from Chinese companies, as long as they can help for Bangladesh. And the next question regarding, it is totally your internal affairs. Either it's national government, the election, you see, whether it's early, it's all sort of things. As a foreign diplomat, it's not for me to answer questions. It is you are Bangladesh people. It's you to decide when the election is held. Our side, we are good friends of Bangladesh. We want to see a very successful, very smooth Bangladesh, and which can be accepted by all the Bangladeshi people. So that is my wish, and we hope with joint efforts it can be done successfully.
I mean, if the national government form, their election could be late, and you want a free and fair election right now. So, what's your opinion on that case?
I have no. Sorry, I have no comment on it. It's up to the Bangladeshi people and the political parties, and you have decided. You have the say. I don't have any say on it. And also for the tariff talk with U.S., I do learn there be some sort of requirement from U.S. But I want to say, Bangladesh, China, we are best friends. China, we're a reliable partner of Bangladesh. I do believe our cooperation is a mutual benefit to both sides. So I don't believe our interest, our legitimate rights could be mine. So that is our position. So whatever, but China, we want to keep our normal trade and interaction with Bangladesh. It should not be affected by any third country. So that is my position. And as for defense cooperation, definitely defense cooperation is also a pillar of China-Bangladesh relations. So, so no matter what domestic change taking place, our defense cooperation still proceed. And we are also looking for closer cooperation either with this intergovernment or with the elected government. So, so that is my what I want to say. And also the BNP claim. I do read the news, but as I said, I cannot go to details as the foreign diplomat. But as I say, I want the election to be convened, to be conducted smoothly and successfully, and it will be as is a free and the participatory sort of the election. Yeah. Thank you. Now you have a sort of the registered parties or registered party maybe will be invited to attend. So that is the situation.
One question left, Mr. Masood Karim, he asked further on investigation.
What? Oh yes, you ask about the so-called quality of the jet. I want to say, this I learned this the training plane has been used in the last 10 years. From the year 2012 so far. So it has been flight many times. So I don't believe it's time to make any judgment about the quality of this jet, the training plane. And you also noticed remarks by your Air Chief Marshal on the 22nd. So let's wait for the conclusion by the investigation. So China will work with Bangladesh for this investigation, and hopefully you can get the conclusion of the investigation in the near future. Thank you.
Since can you take one last question from the listener?
Yes.
Mr. Purman from Business Television.
This is last.
Then we'll wrap up and we'll take a group photo. Okay?
Thank you, Excellency. So, I'm Purman Farmer from the Daily Star. One thing is, like now, as you said, that more Rohingyas are, coming to Bangladesh, and that's because of the bad situation over there in Rakhine State. And we know very well that China has a very good relationship with the junta government, as well as with the Arakan army. And earlier it was the Myanmar junta that, tortured the Rohingya, and now the Arakan army is torturing them. And so at this situation, how China is engaging with both the parties, because ultimately it will be very difficult for Bangladesh to continue to shelter so many Rohingyas. So this is number one. And though you will never actually say about the your effort for strengthening South Asian cooperation, which has been stagnant. So my specific query is why you started with the 3 countries and not with more countries together? Because now there is a question that, for the fact that Bangladesh and Pakistan, there are some question about the relationship between Bangladesh and Pakistan. So when the relationship bad with India, bringing these 2 raise questions. So that's my question.
Okay. So I will start from your second question about trilateral cooperation. It is, for trilateral cooperation, it is not new phenomenon. China have a lot of trilateral cooperation with regional countries. We have China, India, Russia, which have been there for more than 10 years. We have China, Russia, Mongolia. We have China, Japan, Korea. We have China, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. So China have a lot of trilateral cooperation with neighboring countries. And China, Bangladesh, Pakistan is just one of them. You can see it is the latest one, but it is nothing new. But why we encourage China, Bangladesh, Pakistan to have cooperation? We all understand, recently China see the warming up relations between Bangladesh and Pakistan. You have serious visits by the senior officials of Pakistan, and you have normalizing relations with Pakistan on all the fronts. So I believe the improvement relation Bangladesh-Pakistan is conducive not only for your 2 countries, it's also conducive for the region. So we believe it's time to have this trilateral cooperation, either for the interest of three countries, or can also help, to improve relations between Bangladesh and Pakistan. And as I told you, the purpose for trilateral cooperation is to have more economic cooperation and enhance of livelihood of the three countries. So I don't believe there's any foundation for concern. I don't believe there's any reason behind it to worry about this cooperation. It's just a start. It's just to have one senior official meeting. We're just about to start this cooperation. And I believe this cooperation can got support of the three peoples. But definitely, just I say, it is not exclusive cooperation. It's inclusive. If any other regional countries can join with us, we can discuss. It can provide a platform, foundation for further or extended cooperation. So we are willing to discuss with other regional countries to join with us, to have more people to be benefit from this process. And as for the Rohingya issue, Arakan Army, yes, definitely we are working on them. We have our channel to working with either the Myanmar government or Arakan Army. So we are through our own channel. We want to persuade them to sit down for talks. And I said, now it's up for all the stakeholders to work together. Myanmar does have its own difficulty. They also need support from international stakeholders. Let's come back to the previous questions. The U.S. lifting sanctions, but I hope it is signified the change of government of U.S. To the Myanmar. That means more approach, more engagement, more talk, more dialogue. So as long as there is efforts which are conducive to regional peace and stability, China will welcome. So that is what I want to say to you. Thank you.